Yep, another one. So, in this episode, I want to talk about one of my favorite topics because this one really touches. This one touches home. This one really hits hard. It hits home, and I'm trying to make sure I follow through with this one because it's very important. And so it sounds like everything I do, I actually get inspired by something else. Well, maybe I'll be watching a show or watching a podcast or a documentary, and I get an idea and I say, you know what, I should talk about this on my next episode, um, uh, or I just find ways to discuss things based on some few inspirations that I see out there. And the one I'm talking about right now, this week. Is something that's interesting because I fell into this on many occasions into this issue where um, I find myself being somebody else, somebody that I'm not, somebody that I haven't vouched to be. And it's very hard. It's very difficult to see it, especially in the world of YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. Does it sound like I always talk about social media? No, it sounds like I hate social media or something. Yet I'm using it right now, but I just call myself. Do I hate social media? I don't think I do, but oh well. But anyway, back to the topic. Back to the point. I find myself falling into different categories that I'm not. But again, one of the things that which will also lead me to being somebody else, and by this I don't mean like trying too hard to be something that I'm not or anything like that. I mean, some people do it. I don't know, but but I think most of us tend to do that just out of our environment because we're all products of our environments at the end of the day. But so what I was talking about is like when you see especially YouTubers, everybody's teaching you how to do something or everybody's showing you how to do something. I guess that's where the algorithm goes by. That's where it follows through. That's the aspect of the whole thing of the YouTube thing. So um, when I was watching these YouTube videos, I noticed I was like, man, there's this trend that if you search one thing, it keeps showing you the same over. Algorithm 101. You know what's going on these days. But I noticed that most of these people are not really who they are. How did I know that? It's not like I went to their houses or I called them. It's just over time you start to see different things like there's a scam. You start to see that people are just doing something that, clickbait. And it's funny those people who blame others for doing clickbait or people who feel like it's wrong or whatever the case be are actually the ones doing it. Naturally we all do it. We end up following the same thing that everybody's doing. Just like when Instagram came out, it started off authentically with it was authentic with the photographers or regular people posting their pictures of their home, of their dogs, of whatever they do in real life. But eventually when they noticed where when it got monetized, when the advertisements came knocking on the door, everybody started doing the same thing. They try to find that right picture, find that right thing, find that clickable thing, and then likes, viewership, people, girls taking off their clothes, whatever is provoking, whatever is making Mal go on my computer, on my cell phone, and click on it. Man, such is life. So anyway, back to my point. Just being yourself is very difficult. I never thought I'd ever say that. It's very hard. It's tough to be myself. Because even we all learn from others, whether it's from your mom, from your dad, from your parents, from your friend, from your sister, from your brother, from your teacher, from uh, you know, your role. By role I mean your role model. By the way, I mean it's all the same. We all learn from others, so we end up falling into that place. But I was watching an episode with Gary Vee. I'm sure a lot of people know who Gary Vee is. Shout out to Gary Vee, by the way. And he had a concept about being himself. Um, he was explaining that that's how he figured out how to monetize, or let's not even talk about monetizing. That's how he figured out how to be successful at what he does, because he wasn't so focused on the money, on the wealth. What we need to study. He did say on the concept that I saw. He did say he started off that way, by trying to be successful through by money, just following the money and stuff. But then eventually he noticed, no, this is not the way to do it. He started gaining his comfort zone. He started getting his viewership. His people started understanding him more when he became himself. And he said something that was interesting too, because he's not. He doesn't really. He's not. He said he can. I don't know how true this is, but he said he cannot read. He's not able to read. He can't even read a page of a book, and I could relate to that. I mean, no, I can read now, but but I don't find it interest. I don't find it fun. That's actually my downfall. I'm so energetic. I'm always going places. I'm moving back and forth. I'm getting up. I have so much energy. I can't sit down and open a book. I get bored. I have to be doing something physical. I have to be, even when I try to edit something, music, videos, I just cannot sit there. I just get bored. I have to do something natural, physical. Even when I'm doing something physical, it has to be a lot coming to me. I work better under pressure. So the same concept. I'm sidetracking. So I don't really enjoy certain things that make you calm down, sit back and relax, and which is very good for your health, very good for your success, very good for your, you know, well-being. But anyway, Gary V noticed that when he started being himself, he doesn't read. He just enjoys saying what he says and what he knows, and he's just being authentic, being funny, being clearly who he is, dressing the way he likes, which is why I don't wear a suit to these episodes, because this is me. The only different thing right now is the lights around me and the mic, and that's what I'm going to be trying to do just in my life, not just for this project or for episodes. Just be myself. I tend to, because I notice you stress yourself so much unknowingly by just trying to be other people, just going to work trying to please other people per se, or acting like you are these people that you really are not. And I guess it's all society. We get caught up into all these realms where we go to work, we go to school, and when we're at work, we're supposed to abide, do this, which is, I understand. You don't want to be at a job where people are going crazy, taking shots, or all kind of stuff. Of course, it's a work environment, but those little things, 90, 95%, man, maybe let me just say, put it down a little bit. Maybe let's say 80% of people at work. No, never mind. 90 to 95% of the work are not being who they really are, which is a good thing. Probably we don't want some of the dark secrets. Please keep them at home. We don't want to see it at work. So yeah, so people, these things, when you're in an environment, especially controlled environments, like schools, where you have to behave, you have to do this, you have to do that, so you're forcing yourself to be somebody else, because it's just, think of a kid in general, a kid that's out there, that likes to run around and talk, and there's a time and place for everything, and I get every little thing, I get it all. But now you have to sit in a class and just listen, and just quiet, just looking. Your blood starts to boil, like your veins start about to explode. Now I see why. I never used to understand it when I was in class, and I never understand it. I was like, why is he talking? Why is he fidgeting? Why is he doing this? Why can he not listen to the teacher? Why can he not listen to the teacher? Why can he answer the question? Why can he not be quiet like the kid in the back? Why can he not be quiet like the A student at the front? Why can I? Oh no, not he. Why can me, not be like these people? Because that's not who I am. So of all these 30 people in a class, whether it's in college, school, middle school, elementary, wherever, everybody's different. Everybody's different. And the more I find out, the more I notice, the scarier it gets. Is that a word? For all those that want to grammatically correct me, as long as you know what it means. But I don't know. Everybody's different. It's very, and now, sadly, it's actually um, probably the reason why we have, human beings react the way they do. When they get into when a human being or a creature of a kind gets in an uncomfortable position, they act, accordingly. They just do whatever. It's just like you put a crazy person into a place where they're not comfortable. That's when you're gonna see their craziness. That's when they're gonna exert. Um, or if you put a quiet person in a loud environment, they might come out there and scream and say, "Can everybody shut up?" Because now they're in a position where they're not really accustomed to. So it could be other results. It could be other things. Now, what does this have to do with it being yourself? I just feel like it just applies in a lot of different environments, not just for podcasts, not just for, acting, not just for. Oh, actually, acting is another thing. I heard there's this whole thing that goes by the way they say Johnny Depp started act. He has this thing that is well known for where he acts his character in real life. I don't know the full extent to it, but he thinks he's English or he thinks he has this strange accent that's not really him, but which might be true. Maybe he did it so many times, but it goes back to what I'm saying. He's not acting himself. He's been in so much of these environments that he's actually changed as a person. He's no longer who he was, you know, evidently. But I mean, for him, it's working. It's working for him, I guess. That's why he's rich, he's wealthy. But I just feel like, a lot of things would be a lot better, judging from my own experience. A lot of things would be a lot better if we acted as who we are. Um, we tend to find ourselves in positions where we are trying to be somebody that people want you to be. Because people have this thing where they generalize and they make you um, think, or they turn you into thinking you're this person perceptionally because of how you act. For example, myself, I tend to be. I think I don't know. Oh my god, but I think I'm a nice guy to a to a certain extent. I'm a nice guy. I'm I tend to feel for others. I empathize a lot. I think it's just something in our family, something in my blood, something in my in my culture. Not everybody, obviously, but we empathize a lot. We feel, we don't judge, we don't choose. I mean, everybody judges, so I'll take that back. But we do not. We're not as judgmental to a point where, let's say, I'm willing to accept a lot of things that most people would not accept. I mean, I'm the type of person who would probably date or mate anybody who's in the streets just because of after I figure out what they go through, who they are. I don't really. I try to see beyond the cover, the book, the book cover. So, and it's helped me understand a lot of things in life. It's helped me see why people end up being who they are, where they are in life. Of course, and I'm not saying every time that's how I am. I'm not saying every time I see somebody out there, I'm stopping to. But I'm just saying I don't. I tend to react differently to a lot of situations that most people would push away. Um, so with that, when somebody sees me, back to me, when somebody sees me now, when I'm in an environment with a lot of people, and I also have feelings. If I get angry, I get emotional, love, and all that. And as somebody who everybody has always seen me as a nice person, they're expecting me to always be that nice person, which is a great thing. But then they overexert it. Say, okay, since he's nice, that means he does this. Since he's nice, that means he thinks this way. Since he's nice, so now when you as a person you start saying this stuff, or when I start saying this stuff, I try, or maybe I should say I'll start acting accordingly, and then that's what usually burns a lot of people. That's usually what burns or changes people's demeanor because now you try to act so hard. And I've been in a lot of situations like that where I don't even know that I'm acting so hard. It's just natural because people are praising me for being this kind person and everything, that even in certain instances I'm not even really being kind person. I'm just doing it to go with the flow, and sometimes out of my my judgment. So it's and it can hurt you, it can burden you in the future. um and it's something that I still struggle and I'm still working on, and I had to fight because I even lost a lot of friends. I lost a lot of people in my life because as I started noticing these things, there's times when I really act as who I am, and these people are like, "Whoa, what happened to this Melvin?" Because they're used to that perception that they had of me, you know. But and not to say it was I did anything bad, but it's probably just something that was not, you know, comfortable with them or with whoever, and they'd met me to be. When you meet somebody, you meet them to be somebody else, and then when you really realize who they are, it might not even be bad. It's just not compatible with them. Then you end up in a in a different situation. So that's why it's very important to just be genuine and be who you are, no matter who you meet, um, or who companion, and relationships, workplace, school. Now there is obviously a little cliche to that. This is the thing. You should not. Obviously, you have to be very, you know, just etiquette is always there. You know, just respect the place, respect the environment. Now, do not. I don't expect anybody to go to work and just be, you know, crazy like I mentioned earlier. You can't just go crazy at work just because you're trying to be yourself. There's a place and time for everything. But what I mean by being yourself is just that if you're a quiet person, be quiet at work. But then if you have to talk, you have to to volunteer. You have to to discuss certain things. Yeah, of course, do whatever you're hired there for in a manual way, in a relatable way. But you don't have to just be all crazy just because everybody else around you is being, you know, well, especially even in school. This is very popular, especially like in environments like school or maybe college. A lot of people start doing stuff that they never did growing up because they become pressured to be somebody else. It takes a lot of discipline to actually push it away, and it doesn't always have to be for the worse. Um, it could be just something as simple as, like I was saying, like YouTubers. A lot of YouTubers, they wonder why they don't succeed. They don't wonder why their point is not getting across. Some actually do, but then it's because the nine and I realized this because I wanted to do it so much. I wanted to do some creative things, and I just started watching and watching and watching. And when you keep watching something over and over and over and over and over again, you start to see certain loopholes. You start to see certain things. You start making sense. It's just like practice. So I noticed that, okay, sometimes it's just too forced. You can tell that this person is not. Yeah, they're doing this, but that's not who they are. Do they really love? Do they have a passion for what they're doing? Like me, I like to talk. I'm just sitting here just talking because I love to talk. I'm the type of person that people used to tell me, keep quiet in school, keep quiet in church, keep quiet every, because I just like to use my vocal cords. I like to talk. So that's why I'm trying to make sure I use this platform to exert what I like to do. Whatever it turns out to be, it is what it is. But I'm just going to, so I decided I'm just going to talk. So yeah, don't be somebody that everybody wants you to be. Be somebody that you want to be. If you like something, again, this is another thing. If you like something, spend all your energy on it. Just do it. Again, I suffer a lot with this because I like to do a lot of things. I like to learn new hobbies. I like to, and the thing about time is that, for me, example, I'm in IT. I'm an IT guy. I'm a tech guy. I spend most of my time doing IT work, troubleshooting, fixing, um, stuff like that. So all those hours I put into it, it makes a lot of sense for me to convert that into my success, into my future, my endeavors, my business or anything, because that's what I know, that's what I enjoy. But I think as somebody who's techie, I'm learning something every day, and then like for example, I might start learning about you know videography, but here I am. I haven't been doing videography all this time, and nobody's to say I cannot start doing videography, in the midst of whatever, or it's 75 years old, 40 years, 50 years, whatever be. It doesn't matter. You could start anything today, whenever. You got to do what you like to do. But what I'm saying is, when you spend a lot of time doing something, in most cases, it's because you enjoy it. But in other cases which are dangerous is because it's for monetary values, or it's for success values, or it's for just for survival reasons. But then that's what end up exerting you. And again, I've been in those situations a lot of times. Um, Now, my goal is to make everything that I do fun, or at least exert my time to things that I enjoy doing. That way, it doesn't feel so much. I don't feel so much pressure or pain, or anything that makes me feel like it's a burden. I can if here's the thing. This is how I'm trying to look at things now. If I cannot, I'm trying to do things to a place where I can I look at something that, okay, let's say I'm good at this. It should be easy for me to change this to be a business. It should be easy for me to change this hobby into being a business. If I think of it and then start questioning, is it gonna work and stuff, and all the this and that, third and fourth, then that probably means I don't really enjoy doing it. This is just my philosophy. That's just how I'm looking at it. I'm trying to start looking at things now, because um, my mom is very good at pushing me pushing us, her kids to do this, because she always says, and it used to frustrate me. I used to wonder, like, why does everything has to be about business? Why does everything has to be about success? Why? But now I get it. The idea is not to say you have to make money out of everything. It's just one of those things that you do hobbies to enjoy them, which is okay, but at what cost? And success is not always in dollar value. It's just even like your well-being. There's a lot of things I just enjoy doing because it makes me feel better, because um, it puts me in a good place. It makes me and feel valued to myself. You know, this is one of them. Like I mentioned, I like to talk, and I never thought talking is uh, something that I could spend my life doing. That doesn't even make sense, because everybody talks. But I just like to, I like to have discussions about different things. I like to talk about life. I like to see why things happen the way they are, why people are who they are, why people behave the way they do, why animals behave the way they do, how things are built, why bridges are this way, why cars move forward instead of backwards, why we cannot fly, why the littlest things in this world amaze me. And me just liking to talk, I feel like is a great thing in that bubble. And I think I have so much to discuss. That's why when I do a podcast, I want to have people to come over, discuss, and tell me, see what they do in their lives, what's so different, because we are all beautiful creatures, and we all have our own likes and views, and we network differently. So it's always a very good thing to um, to learn from others. In which, if you do stick to being yourself, you could teach other people how it is to be you, versus you just being what everybody else is. Then you is not objectively, but you, your soul, your peace, everything is losing out on that perfect, beautiful um, self that you are. You know, So uh it's relative. You have, if you do like something, spend so much time on it. Do it over and over. You never know. You'll be amazed, you know, how things turn out. If you look at basketball players, look at Messi. There's this narrative in this cycle when people start talking how they got to where they are. You start to see the steps they did or they took to get to where they are. It's just, in most cases, it's always repetitive. You know, I used to do this over and over. I have to do this over and over. I used to wake up kicking the ball every day. All I was thinking about is all I was thinking about was soccer. All I was thinking about was basketball. And so you just start to see, the concept of life. It's just, you know, just doing it. Just doing the same thing over and over and over again. It's insanity, but insanity can lead to a lot of things, especially if it's in a positive way. Just do it. And that's why I see, Nike, man, that way, just do it, that statement, just do it, man. Yo, I don't know how you thought about that, but it's crazy. It's a very powerful notion. It's a very powerful way of looking at things. Um, as old as I am, I'm just now starting to apply this to my life. You know, objectively, just doing it. Back when I was growing up, I was doing things, and but then I wasn't really looking at it with the perspective that I have now. So you just have to do it, because in most cases, if you do something that you don't like, or don't want to do, you're always tired. You're always angry. You're always frustrated. Uh, you're not gonna give it all. You know, you're doing it to please an audience. It doesn't work that way. And unfortunately, that's very, very common within a lot of human beings. Within a lot of culture, in a lot of instances, it's just, that's why I even said, even if it's something that and it's funny. I had to pick this up from watching YouTube and social media, because I was trying to find my lane to see what am I gonna do. What am I doing podcast? Am I doing cinema? I was just trying to find my talent in between, when it comes to creativity. And I noticed that a lot of people were not being themselves. They're doing what the algorithm requires them of to do, and that's not what I want to do. I want to do who I am. And thanks to Gary Vee, because he pointed that out, and I feel like I watched his interview at a very good time, where I could really learn and apply this in my day to day life. Um, so I'll see where this takes me. But the one reminder, and the lesson for this week is just to be yourself, and don't let someone or other people detect who you are. And don't do what people want you to do. Don't be what people want you to be. And just enjoy life. And with everything we always say, I always remind you, it is always better to accept reality or any external misfortune, as life is always unpredictable, and the results are not always in our hand. So just be yourself.